Stop scrolling for a second. I need to ask you something that might completely change the way you see the world. Do you believe that being good keeps you safe? That kindness protects you? That honesty earns you respect? If your answer is yes, then you've been living inside one of the biggest lies society has ever told. The truth is far darker and far more powerful than you've ever been told. Because being good doesn't always save you. Sometimes it destroys you. Think about it. The world tells you to be kind, humble, and forgiving. But what happens when you actually live that way? People walk all over you. They take advantage of your silence. They call you nice right before they take what's yours. And when you finally speak up, you're called the bad guy. You see, we were raised to believe that goodness is always rewarded. But the real world doesn't work that way. Niccolo Machiavelli, one of history's most brutally honest thinkers, discovered this centuries ago. He watched good men fall, not because they were wrong, but because they were naive. Machiavelli saw that kindness, when used blindly, becomes a weapon against you. He saw generous rulers betrayed by the very people they helped. He saw honest leaders destroyed by those who lied better. And he realized something chilling. Being good without strategy is like walking into a battlefield unarmed. You might have a pure heart, but purity doesn't stop the wolves from tearing you apart. That's why Machiavelli wrote The Prince, not to teach evil, but to teach survival, to show us that goodness must be controlled, directed, and used wisely. Before we go deeper, pause for a moment. If this message already hit something deep inside you, if you've ever felt drained by your own kindness or punished for doing the right thing, then hit that like button right now. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and share this video with someone who gives too much. Comment below with the words, "I choose strategic goodness," because what we're about to uncover will shake how you see morality itself. Let's talk about the first truth, the hidden danger inside your goodness. When you're always kind, people stop seeing your kindness as a choice. They see it as your duty. You become predictable, easy to read, easy to use. They know you'll say yes. They know you won't fight back. They know you'll forgive, even when they don't deserve it. And slowly, your goodness turns into your weakness. You become the person people only call when they need something. You give, they take, and the more you give, the less they respect you. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves." What he meant was simple. If you're only kind, you're a target. If you're only strong, you're a threat. But if you can be both, you become untouchable. Strategic goodness means you know when to show warmth and when to show teeth. So ask yourself, has your kindness made you respected or just convenient? Because if you feel constantly drained, unappreciated, or overlooked, that's not a coincidence. That's a sign you've been giving goodness away for free. In the next part, we're going even deeper, into the generosity trap, and why the more you give, the less people value you. Here's something that might shock you. The more generous you are, the less people appreciate it. Sounds wrong, doesn't it? We're told generosity makes people love us, but over time, it does the opposite. The first time you help someone, they're grateful. The second time, they're thankful. The 10th time, they expect it. And the moment you stop helping, you're suddenly the bad guy. That's the dark side of goodness, when people get so used to your giving that it stops feeling special. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. It means humans quickly get used to the good things in their lives. What once felt like a gift becomes normal. Your kindness becomes invisible. Your help becomes expected. And when you finally say no, that single no outweighs every yes you've ever given. You're not seen as kind anymore. You're seen as selfish. You've fallen into the generosity trap. Machiavelli understood this better than most. He said, benefits ought to be conferred gradually, and in that way, they will taste better. He knew that when you give too freely, your gifts lose their value. Scarcity creates respect. Abundance destroys it. That means if you want your kindness to be powerful, you must give it with intention. Don't pour yourself out to everyone. Focus on the people and moments that truly matter. Be generous, but strategically. Before we go on, I need you to stay with me, because what comes next will completely change how you see yourself your relationships, and your power. Watch until the end, because the next part reveals the hidden law behind respect and why people stop valuing your goodness the moment you start proving it. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now let's talk about appearance, the mask of virtue. The world doesn't actually care if you're truly good. It only cares if you look good. People don't judge your heart, they judge your image. They see what you appear to be, not who you really are. That's why some of the kindest people go unnoticed while manipulators rise to the top. It's not fair, but it's real. To survive, you must learn to master perception. You must wear the mask of virtue not to deceive, but to protect. Think about this like a doctor performing surgery. From the outside, it looks harsh, cutting someone open. But inside, it's saving their life. Real goodness often looks tough on the surface because true care sometimes requires pain, boundaries, and uncomfortable honesty. If you always try to look good, you'll avoid conflict. But if you want to be good, you'll face conflict with courage. Machiavelli said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." He was right. The world sees your smile, but not your struggle. It sees your kindness, but not your exhaustion. So from today, don't just look good. Be strategic. Choose when to show softness and when to show strength. Because when people see both, they respect you. When they see only one, they use you. And in the next part, we're going deeper into how your time, energy, and generosity are the real currency of power, and how saying yes to everyone is the fastest way to destroy yourself. Every time you say yes when you really want to say no, you spend a piece of your life. Every favor, every "don't worry, I'll handle it," every moment you give to someone who wouldn't do the same for you, it all comes with a cost. But because you can't see that cost right away, you ignore it. You think you're being good, kind, helpful, but in reality, you're draining your most precious resource, your energy. Here's the truth most good people never realize. Your energy is not infinite. Your time is not renewable. Once it's gone forever. And when you give it away carelessly, you end up empty, tired, resentful, and invisible. Machiavelli understood this. He said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." And that doesn't just mean commanding others, it means commanding yourself, controlling how you spend your energy, your attention, and your kindness. Because when you can't lead yourself, the world will lead you, and it won't be gentle. Let me tell you something personal. I once knew someone who was the good one in every room, always reliable, always available, always helping. Everyone loved them until they stopped. The moment they said, "I can't help this time," people turned cold. They were called selfish, distant, changed. But what really changed was that they finally realized the truth. You can't save others if you're drowning yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. Saying no isn't cruelty, it's self-respect. If this is hitting home, I want you to pause and comment right now. I protect my energy. Because once you start doing that, everything in your life begins to shift. People who only loved your giving will fall away. But the ones who truly respect you will stay. That's how you separate real connection from dependency. That's how you start living with power. Now here's where it gets even deeper. Most people think goodness is about what's in your heart, but Machiavelli knew it's about what you do with it. The world doesn't care about your good intentions. It cares about results. You can mean well and still cause harm. You can want peace and still create chaos. What matters is the outcome, not the motive. That's why being truly good means being strategic. It means using your kindness with precision, like a sword, not a shield. Think about this. A sword left on a shelf doesn't protect anyone, but a sword used wisely can save an entire kingdom. Your goodness should work the same way. You don't owe it to everyone. You owe it to what's meaningful. Help people who value your help. Say yes where your yes creates change. Refuse where your no protects your peace. That's what Machiavelli meant when he said, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." Sometimes to protect your higher purpose, you must disappoint people who expect you to serve theirs. Stay with me, because in the final part, we'll talk about legacy, The part that reveals why being nice won't make you remembered and how strategic goodness turns ordinary people into legends. This last truth is where everything comes together. Don't blink. It's the part everyone else is too afraid to say out loud. Let's talk about legacy. The one thing that outlives every good deed, every kind word, every act of generosity. The truth is, history doesn't remember nice people. It remembers impactful ones. Think about it. Can you name 5 people from history who were simply nice? Probably not. But you can easily name 5 who changed the world, even if they weren't liked by everyone. Steve Jobs, Winston Churchill, Martin Luther King Jr., Mother Teresa. None of them were universally adored. They were respected. And that respect came from strength, not softness. This is the final truth Machiavelli wanted us to see. Survival comes before legacy. You cannot help anyone if you're destroyed in the process. The kindest hearts in the world can't heal others if they've bled themselves dry. The most generous souls can't give if they've already been emptied. To create a legacy, you must first protect yourself. You must build power before you share it. That's not selfishness. That's strategy, because only the strong can choose when and how to be good. The weak don't have that luxury. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Now, most people hear that and think he was promoting cruelty. But what he really meant was this: respect will protect you when affection fades. When people fear to lose your presence, your respect, your value, they treat you differently. They listen. They think twice before crossing you. And ironically, that's what allows you to be truly good, because power protects kindness. Weakness destroys it. So what does this mean for you? It means from today, you stop giving your goodness away like it's air. You stop apologizing for your strength. You stop trying to prove your worth through endless self-sacrifice. You don't need to be liked to be valuable. You don't need to please to have peace. True goodness isn't about being agreeable. It's about being effective. It's about using your light with precision, not wasting it on people who live in your shadow. Remember this: blind goodness will drain you, but strategic goodness will define you. One leaves you empty, the other makes you powerful. The world doesn't need more people who are nice. It needs people who are wise enough to protect their goodness, who can be kind without being weak, giving without being used, honest without being punished. Those are the people who change everything. Those are the people who last. So I'll leave you with one final choice, and this choice will shape the rest of your life. Will you keep being good in the old way, soft, unguarded, and easily broken? Or will you rise as someone who's still kind, but powerful, strategic, and impossible to exploit? The wolves aren't going away, but neither is your power. So stop being the sheep. Be the shepherd. Be the one who protects through strength, not submission. If this message opened your eyes, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video with someone who gives too much. And comment below, "I master strategic goodness." Because the moment you say those words, you're not just choosing a new mindset, you're declaring a new life. One where your goodness no longer destroys you. It empowers you. Thank you for watching. Remember, in a world full of wolves, your strength is your kindness, when used wisely. Stay sharp, stay kind, stay powerful.